are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace.
Welcome to the Geekcentric podcast, and welcome to our special Behind the Geeks episode for Walt Disney Animation Studios' Wish. If you're joining us for the first time, well, we are Geekcentric, a podcast covering the world of movies, TV shows, toys, collectibles, gaming, and all things geek-centric. Joining me for today's special Behind the Geeks, he's the GOAT in my life, Mr. Nate Shelton. How are you, buddy?
You're a star. I've been constantly listening to the soundtrack of Wish.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not leaving my goat-headed brain.
Well, if you're listening to this episode, you probably saw the title, who we're talking to. I thought maybe before I even ask you our little fun question before we get into the interview, Nate, why don't you just get it out there? Let our listeners know, who did you have a chance to talk with?
Well, I mean, I had a chance to sit down and in person chat with the GOAT, the greatest of all time, one of our favorite voices in the industry, in Disney, and even in his live action roles. He's done some incredible stuff, and that is Alan Tudyk. I almost want to say Sir Alan Tudyk because he's played royalty before, something like royalty, I guess. A duke is a duke royalty?
I don't know. You'll have to look that up on Wikipedia, but he's done enough that you could probably call him a sir.
But yeah, man, it was so cool, and we'll obviously chat a little bit more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And a huge thanks to our friends at Disney Studios Canada for setting up this interview, which was in person, which we are always very appreciative of being included in these press junkets. So Alan was in Toronto, surprised the fine folks in Toronto at the fan event that was this past Monday, November 20th. We were fortunate enough to actually participate in a giveaway, and we sent one fine winner from the Toronto city to that, and she posted a lot of great photos.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like they had a lot of fun. They had little photo ops. They had a whole bunch of stuff. So, Disney definitely knows how to do it right when it comes to these fan events and really kind of creating the immersive experience. And Toronto's gotten a lot more of these fan events. But yeah, the Disney Wish, they had a giant star on the blue carpet that you could take your picture with. So that was pretty cool. But yes, we are talking to Alan Tudyk. And I thought, before we get into the interview, I would love to know, as you mentioned, he's done so much. Did you have a favorite from his body of work that he's done?
I mean, it's so tough to choose. I think, shout out to Tucker and Dale versus Evil, obviously. Such an underrated movie that I don't know if too many people know about. But I think my favorite Alan Tudyk role, if we're going not even in the Disney animated camp, is K2SO. I think for a droid to be able to have emotions, like they don't have faces that can really move or express much emotion, so it's all in the voice. And I think the tragedy of K2SO in the final moments of Rogue One is one that will forever live in my brain, and that that's such a huge part due to Alan's performance. I hope we get to see him again one day, and maybe interview him again for that role. But how about yourself?
One that I definitely, when I think of Alan Tudyk, I think of obviously Dodgeball, Steve the Pirate.
Steve the Pirate.
Which, is undoubtedly one of the more memorable roles. But that's not the one I'm going to go with. I got to say, I'm going to go as a bit of an odd choice. It's not necessarily my favorite, but I will say that it is one that really I remember being quite surprised with. Was his role in Transformers Dark of the Moon. He plays a government agent that works with John Turturro's character. And
really?
He's German. His name's Hans. It's absolutely hilarious. He's sort of ex-military. He's got like a little bit of flamboyancy to him. He's got a German voice, but then he goes super military. And I was always curious. It's like, for a guy like Alan, who seems to obviously do a lot more voice work, you see him, he's like whipping out guns, flipping people and stuff like that. It was a moment in this movie, and I was kind of like, wow, like there's some choreography, there's some action in what he did. But he's done so much. I just know that when I saw him in Transformers: Dark of the Moon, it was a very pleasant surprise, and even though it was a very very side character role, he did a good job. He did a really good job. I thought it was
He
I thought it was
elevated.
absolutely, he elevated
the
it.
movie.
And he
for
made
sure.
me laugh a lot, especially given
Nice.
how techie he was and how into it and how sort of obsessed he was with trying to get answers and stuff. He did a great job. So I know that's probably one that not many will think of right off the bat.
I love it. I love it.
Well, listen, with that said, I think it's time that we get to our interview. So please enjoy our interview with the voice of Valentino from Disney's Wish, Alan Tudyk.
Hey, Alan, thank you so much for joining me on the Geekcentric podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks, man.
Good, man. We're huge fans of you at Geekcentric, both your roles on screen and, of course, the voices that you've done throughout the years for Disney. For a lot of people, with the body of work that you've done, a lot of people would call you, and do me a favor, pretend like this is the first time that you've heard this on this press tour. But, your body of work is so huge with Disney. A lot of people would call you the GOAT.
Oh, thank you very much. The greatest of all time.
Correct. That's what that stands for.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Because I'm also playing a goat.
That's it. That's it. I'm glad you get it.
Got
okay,
it.
Good.
I'm the greatest of all time plus the kind that eats trash.
That's it.
I cover those both bases.
Is that why you took on the role, though? Is that you could call yourself the GOAT?
I hadn't thought of that perk until this portion of the project.
Yeah.
I was excited to do a comic sidekicky character in a musical, another musical comedy of theirs, and the fact that he was a goat was great. I'm a big fan of goats. They're very cute.
Yes.
He's very cute. Valentino's very cute. But then he actually gets to talk, so I don't spend the movie just making goat sounds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the voice of Valentino,
right?
Because he gets a voice beyond the best.
Yes.
I adored him in this movie. I think obviously the most laughs come from Valentino in this movie, in my opinion, and I love that. I think if you were to ask Valentino who the main character of Wish is, I think he'd say himself.
Yeah.
My co-host Justin had the opportunity to speak with director Fawn Vierenthorn, and she brought you up quite a few times, and she had mentioned that there were a few variations of the Valentino voice. What was it like finding the voice for Valentino, and then what were some of those variations?
We started higher up in the register, because he's so cute, and I think I was like, he's a Valentino, so he's
Italian.
He's Italian.
Yeah.
Like this. Like it's 2024, Alan. Stop it. Oh, right. Okay. And we, I don't remember. I remember him trying very cutesy, kind of kid voices, kind of stuff like that. Because the only animation I saw was a very cute animation of him kind of chasing Star,
mm-hmm.
and then it just kind of like third or fourth. I said, "What if he's just down here,
so low?"
Yeah, just so low. And Chris Buck, the other director, said, "Yeah, go with that. Do that some more." And then the lines just started to. It's like, oh, actually, that works, which is great. That's on them that they were like, "Yep, yeah, go with that."
Yeah,
it's like I can really do that. And then the line of, "Who would have thought my voice would be this low?" was I was saying it to them and saying it to myself. It wasn't a line. But then also how great of them to go, oh, that's a funny line that the character can actually say, and we're going to put that in the movie.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I absolutely loved it. And I like how it is very similar to your voice, so that's great.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see this film celebrating 100 years of Disney animation. And throughout the 100 years, there have been so many various sidekicks that help the hero to progress on their journey, much like Valentino does in his own way. In this movie, he's very much a goofball, but is there anything in particular that you would want audiences or even kids to maybe be inspired from or take away from Valentino?
He's trustworthy. He he may think it's his film, but you know, he is right there by Asha's side. He's ready to fight.
Yeah.
And anybody who stands in the way is, I'll throw you out. You know,
Yeah.
the only person who's leaving is you. You know, he's ready to. He'll be an enforcer.
Yeah.
Even in his little bitty goat body.
Yeah.
And you know, so being trustworthy is a good quality in a friend. And overall, the message of the movie is just that wishes are important, and they should be cared for, and with the help of others, you can make them come true.
Yeah.
Come on. And that isn't in any of my notes. You know, like that they hand you a piece of paper saying,
to say,
make sure you hit
this. Yeah.
that this is an original comedy, that it's an original musical, which it is those things. But it's about that for me, that wishes define us. And it's not something I had before I saw the movie. It's what I came away with after I saw it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I would wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
My next question here, because again, the 100 year of Disney animation, it's probably the hardest question that you're going to get all day. There is a prize involved. Good news, there's no wrong answer. But again, it's very difficult.
I'm getting a prize. That's what I'm hearing.
In the 100 years of Disney animation,
Yes.
what's your favorite Disney animated film?
I'm going to go with Jungle Book.
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book, yes, the original Jungle Book.
Oh, yeah.
Great music.
Phenomenal.
A great story, great music. I love King Louie.
Yep.
And I love the character of Baloo.
Yep.
I love all of the jazz lingo. Fall apart in my backyard. You know, oh, if you like that, be there. You're working too hard.
Oh,
That's just so. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had an answer for that. I also really dig Jungle Book. I was always scared of the snake in Jungle Book.
That sounds like Winnie the Pooh.
Yes, because I think, isn't it not the same?
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
Haunt your dreams. I should know his name. I don't, but it's Winnie the Pooh coming to crush the wind out of your body.
Yeah, terrifying. Well, I have your prize. We're Geekcentric. We're huge collectors. We're huge collectors of all things Disney. So I've been obsessed with the latest Disney trading card game called Lorcana.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard about it.
No.
But I wanted to give you some cards from Lorcana from the game. I have some characters that might be a little bit familiar.
What? Duke of Wesselton. This is a the Duke of Wesselton. Sorcery. I knew there was something dubious going on here. Duke Weaselton is another card.
Yeah.
2 points. What does that mean, only 2 points?
Yeah.
I feel like there should be more points, and the opponents can't choose his character except to challenge.
Yep.
It's Weasel time. Weaselton. All right. Tuck Tuck mainly says until he's big like that.
Yeah.
And he goes. A good friend is always ready to roll. Another good friend.
Yeah.
That's him getting off the boat. That's Hey Hey.
Hey.
Whenever this character quests, you may add their Sometimes our strengths lie beneath the surface.
Yeah. But I love that the card also refers to him as Boat Snack.
Boat snack. Yes. Oh, there's a couple of Hey Heys.
Yeah, that one's a little more majestic.
Oh, he's beautiful. He's like a phoenix or a water dragon from Raya. Oh yeah, beauty. That is Hey Hey. He is beauty. He's poise.
Absolutely.
When he eats rocks
He's grace.
and vomits up the rocks before he has a chance to eat them again, that's when he's really in his most beautiful form.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy those.
Thank you.
Absolutely. As I've been collecting them, I'm like, and then we got the opportunity to talk to you. I'm like, oh, I got to give these to him. I think you might enjoy those. So.
How cool.
Yeah. And looking at those cards again, the Duke of Wesselton and Duke of Weaselton, they're instantly recognizable as you, but Tuck Tuck and Hey Hey, not so much. What's the process of figuring out the animal sounds for the various animal characters you've created?
Yeah, it's kind of that. It's like looking, Tuck Tuck, he was a very cute little baby, and that's all he did was...
Yeah.
So the microphone's very close. And you're listening on your headphones, trying to find the cutest cute sounds. And then when he was big, he was jumping on that big one. Awesome, just jumping off of a cliff to go help Raya.
Yeah.
And then, hey, I did hang out with some chickens for a little bit there.
Yeah.
I was in Hawaii even, so they
Okay.
were island chickens.
Method acting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I chased them around a little bit. I just happened to be in Hawaii at that time. So I listened to them and watched a lot of chicken videos.
I love that. Are there any animals that you've stayed away from voicing because they'd be too difficult?
No, I embrace all animals.
There's nothing too difficult.
I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a crack.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. All of your animal noises, I love them very much. And again, we're huge fans. This was excellent, and I hope you enjoy your prize.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
And we're back. Fantastic interview. I love that.
Thanks, man.
You guys very much got to geek out about what he likes to do, but then you even get further in the geek out realm by sharing your love for Lorcana. Like, come on, this has been like your life for the last like 3 or 4 months, just going crazy. So it's nice that you were able to somehow bring that into this in a very relevant way.
Yeah, it was just kind of that perfect timing sort of situation where, set 2 has just come out and they introduced, Weaselton and the other Hey and Tuk Tuk. And it was so much fun. And I think it's one of those things where, again, anytime we get to sort of geek out together with the people that make the things that we love around,
or are the
stuff
characters that we love, right?
Right. Or exactly. And I think, I just think I hope that with continuing sets, we get even more characters. Probably won't get the guy from Transformers. What was it?
No,
Moon?
of course not.
But no, I think it was really fun to be able to share my love of Lorcana with him. He's such a delightful guy, and I love seeing him pop up in the credits of any movie, but especially Disney movies. And to know that he's voiced a character in every Disney animated film since Wreck-It Ralph is just so cool. And I think it's awesome to see how much Chris Buck and Fawn Viersonthorn gave in terms of room for him to sort of make the character his own. I mean, that can't be an easy task to take like a pajama wearing baby goat character and do anything but cute, right? Like he's still very cute in the movie, but this is such an unexpected aspect to his character that just adds so much comedy.
I think it makes so much sense, though, too, for them to have the approach of like, well, we've designed this character and we're getting Alan to do the voice. Let's see what he can bring. Let's see what he can do. And I think, as he said, he walked into that thinking very cutesy, very high pitch, sort of very typical of what you would think of a goat wearing pajamas. But he went the opposite, and it was welcomed. It was encouraged. It was pushed to go the distance in terms of how he could make that character matter so much more and really create a unique sort of spin. I loved that you asked him what his favorite movie was. And he said Jungle Book confidently. It's almost as if someone already asked him this question, which is fine. But then there was this great...
He's probably been asked that a ton of times.
Oh, 100 times, I'm sure. Yeah. It's like a ton of times. But I love that there was this moment where you guys shared, a sort of appreciation for Ka, the snake in Jungle Book, and the voice. And you guys weren't sure who actually voiced Ka, but they sounded like Winnie the Pooh, and I'm sure people were thinking Jim Cummings. When I heard it, I heard Jim Cummings. I thought Jim Cummings, but obviously when Jungle Book came out, it was so long ago. Do you want to share who the actual voice was?
Well, it's funny because during this interview, we actually we had a little bit of a power outage, believe it or not, in the building, and so we had to cut the interview for a minute. The sound editor was just like, Sterling Holloway, and we're like, Sterling Holloway, and then immediately I had this sort of gut feeling of like, oh crap. Because I knew that Jim Cummings was the current modern voice of Pooh. So I was like, oh no, are both Alan and I wrong on something? And he's a voice actor? Like, this isn't going to look good. But thankfully, through the power of the internet, we were able to discover that, Sterling Holloway was the original first voice when Pooh was just getting started. So I'm happy we were right. I was doubting myself, but Alan and I, we know these things.
Well, I immediately thought of Jim Cummings, but then I remembered Jungle Book is probably one of the more earlier films from Disney
Yeah.
And there's no way Jim Cummings was doing the voice of Ka or Winnie the Pooh around then. So
I don't
I
think so.
turned to the internet and I was like, yep, they're right. It's Sterling Holloway. So
Yeah.
I think that's so cool though that you guys were able to acknowledge that. It's just a fun little moment when you guys can share in the experience and sort of what that feeling of a moment like seeing Ka the Snake would feel like, right? So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, Disney, again, thank you so much for the opportunity. If anyone from Disney is listening to this, I think an interview with Alan for every Disney movie from now on is the least that they could do. I think. You know what I mean? Because I think he's going to continue to be in a lot of them going forward, I would imagine, right? Like, you know, if they're going to continue this trajectory.
I imagine so. It makes the most sense, given also his repertoire of what he is very good at, and that is bringing life to characters and animals too, right? You know, I love that. Basically, you giving him Lorcana cards was kind of like a slight way of getting him to just do the voices for all of these characters. He's sort of,
You know,
he just
I
goes to the
honestly,
library.
that wasn't my intention, but I was so happy when he did.
Well, the
Yeah.
best part too is when you tried to do the imitation while he's doing it. Like I could do that
came
too,
out-
and it's like
that came
oh,
out
yeah.
automatically. It's like when it's the same thing that happens to me when I talk to somebody who has like a bit of an accent. Like
Yeah,
I'll just
exactly.
start doing their accent and like, Nate, shut up. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
The Italian
But-
one too was pretty spot on as well.
Yeah.
But
So good.
listen, that is it for this special Behind the Geeks episode. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to listen to more or see Nate's beautiful face as he gives these gorgeous Lorcana cards to Alan, well, you can actually check it out on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/geekcentric. I also posted my interview with director Fawn Virthasorn and producer Peter Delvecco, which was recorded earlier this year. Nate and I were fortunate enough to be invited back in June to preview some footage along with a bunch of other press. And this was the interview that took place then. So that's available on our YouTube channel and on podcast feeds as well. Disney's Wish is in theaters now, but if you haven't had a chance to check it out and you want to hear some spoiler-free thoughts, we do have our review available on podcast feeds for you to enjoy. Great conversation there. Nate, Kevin, Megan, Darcy talk about this film and its importance to the Disney 100 anniversary and the music. Because like you said, Nate, this soundtrack is addictive. So go check out that episode as well. But look, we have a ton of other episodes for you to enjoy outside of the Disneyverse, like our spoiler-free reviews for the Netflix series Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, Monarch, The Legacy of Monsters, Next Goal Wins, Blue-Eyed Samurai, all spoiler-free, all for you to enjoy. We also have some more interviews, like my interview with composer Laura Cartman and producer Mary Livanos of the Marvels. So we got a lot of stuff. We've been busy. We've been cooking, as they say, as the cool kids say. We've been cooking. So if you like our effort and you like what we do, please feel free to leave a comment or a review. 5-star is always appreciated. And also follow us on our socials. On Instagram and TikTok, you can find us at We Are Geekcentric. On X, formerly Twitter, you can find us at GeekcentricYT. We're going to be posting stuff to those platforms from these interviews and past interviews that we've been fortunate enough over the last couple of weeks to take part in. So we will have some stuff soon, probably even today, the day that this interview is going live. It's like we're in the future. It's a multiverse of madness. Ugh,
A
let's not
multiverse
talk about
of
that.
badness.
Of madness. That's a good one.
There we go.
There you go. That's why that's why I call you the GOAT, bro.
Hey,
Come on, you
let's
always coming
go.
through. Okay, here we go. And well, that's it. So thank you, Nate, for doing this interview. Great job.
My pleasure.
Until next time.
My butt found it. Love ya.
Peace.